Good morning, party people. We are back at Creation Station. Last week, I did a video on caffeine micellar water. This week, we're going to be doing one on just a regular Milky Micellar Gel Cleanser. So let's get started, okay? Distilled water warmed up. First thing that's going into the pool here is going to be our disodium EDTA. That's our chelating agent. Whenever you have water-based formulations, use a chelator. Tetrasodium, disodium, sodium phytate, sodium gluconate, liquid, TS, GD, depending on what formulation you're making. I always choose to heat up my water just a little bit because it helps dissolve the disodium, which is a little bit harder. The disodium EDTA is a little bit harder to dissolve than the tetrasodium, but the tetrasodium is more suited for, you know, more alkaline environments, and the disodium EDTA is better suited for a little bit more acidic environments. Okay, we've got that. We're just going to put that off to the side because in a few minutes we're going to be adding our hydrosol. We can do that now, but I want to get this other portion going. I want to go ahead and start dissolving my xanthan gum. We're going to be putting in xanthan gum soft because, again, this is going to be a Milky Micellar Gel Cleanser. So this is the xanthan gum soft. I'm going to get this right into the propandiol. I'm not using glycerin in this product. I should have probably used a little bit of a bigger beaker, but I'm making a teeny tiny little batch. So I didn't want to like break out my huge beakers for no reason. All right, there's our xanthan gum. It's going to be quite thick, but to this, I'm going to go ahead and put my pentylene glycol in there. So your propandiol is your humectant. It's also a solvent. Give that a good mix to get that going. And then again, I'm just going to add my pentylene glycol right to this mix, which is also a solvent. All right, we're going to go ahead and do that. Pentylene glycol right in there. Give that another good mix. All right, I'm going to let that sit there just for one moment. Bring back over our water and our disodium EDTA, and to that I'm going to be adding lavender hydrosol. All right, next we're going to be dumping in that propandiol and the pentylene glycol that we have mixed with our xanthan gum soft. We're going to get that into the pool. You could use any hydrosol that you'd like. I'm doing lavender with this one because at the end I am going to put a smidge of some lavender essential oil. You do not have to use hydrosols at all. You do not have to use essential oils at all. In fact, micellar water is really, you know, you don't need, I'm going to use this one. It's going to scrape the bottom up a little bit better for me. With micellar waters or cleansers or whatever, you don't really use any type of a fragrance in there. I just want one. All right, now the next step is I'm just going to leave this for a little bit and I'm going to let that xanthan gum hydrate because it's dissolved pretty well, but now we need to hydrate it. All right, so we're just going to leave that and I'll bring you back. Okay, our xanthan gum has hydrated quite a bit. It's not fully done yet, but I'm going to leave this overnight anyhow and come back tomorrow to do the test. So we're good. There's not a big, huge, clumpy fisheye mess going on. It's pretty decent. So the next thing we're going to be adding is our SugaMulse D9. And this is your solubilizer. Give that a good stir. Okay, next we're going to be putting in some coco caprylate. And all of these ingredients I got from either Making Cosmetics, Lotion Crafter, or the Formulator Sample Shop. With the exception of the SugaMulse, I found a very large container for quite a decent price because it's an expensive ingredient. I got mine up in Canada. So just make sure you're giving this a real good stir. Next, and almost last, comes our phenoxyethanol, which is our preservative. Remember, this is a Milky Gel Cleanser, a Micellar Water Milky Gel Cleanser. And if you don't wish to put any type of a fragrance in here, you're done at this point. I am choosing to put a teeny tiny little smidge of lavender essential oil because I've got that lavender hydrosol in here. So I'm adding this at 0.1%. It's nothing. It's like a couple of drops at best, if that even. I always use a gram scale too, you guys, so you can be as accurate as you possibly can. All right, give this a good mix. Okay, and after you have mixed everything, let's go ahead and do a pH test. Okay, we are looking at about 5.93. So we're going to bring that down just a little bit. We're going to get our citric acid solution and bring that pH down. All right, let's take our 50-50 citric acid solution. We're going to add a couple of drops. 1, 2. We'll start with that and we'll see where that takes us. Less is more. You can always add more, but you can't take it out once it's in there. All right, let's try again. All right, we are now at 5.51, so that's good enough for me. Okay, so at this point, we're done. I'm just going to cover this, leave that until tomorrow, and I'll bring it back. We'll do a little test on it. Good morning, everybody. It is the next day. Let's take a look at our Micellar Milky Jelly Cleanser and see what it's doing. Looks pretty good to me. This can be compared to Glossier's Micellar Milky Jelly Cleanser. It's not the same ingredients, but you can compare this to that. I did look at all of their ingredients because a couple people have asked me to make this. It's been on the back burner. I've had the recipe formulated probably since last month while I was recuperating from my surgery. But anyways, what I've gone ahead and done is I've grabbed some wet mud from outside of the facility here because I don't wear makeup, so I don't have like mascara or rouge or foundation or anything like that. So I just went ahead and grabbed a big spoonful of really nice wet mud, put it on my skin and allowed that to dry, and that's how we're going to be doing the test today. Before we do that, let's just go ahead and get some in our treatment pump. You guys can kind of see the viscosity here. It's not ultra thick, but it's not water thin either. A little bit too much. Got to get that pump in there. Alrighty, put that off to the side and let's give it a test. Now, ordinarily, if you're just going to be washing your face, you would want to wet your face first and then go ahead and apply this jelly cleanser. But if you're just doing makeup, you can apply this to your dry skin right on your eyes. So I'm gonna wet my fingers just a little bit. We're gonna give a couple little pumps here and see how this works. So as you can see, it's breaking up this dried mud very, very nicely. Now, obviously, mascara is thicker. It's a little bit more, I don't know what the word for it is, glumpy, gloppy. But the whole point is it cleaning well? Is it breaking up dirt and debris? Yep, it's doing a really good job of that. And it's leaving my skin nice and soft afterwards. I'm not feeling really dry or tight or anything like that. All right, so let's go ahead and pat that dry like you would your face. And then we'll do a test of a white piece of cloth just to see if there's any residual dirt left. Looks really clean to me. All right, and you guys can see by the water, all the dirt is down there in the water. Okay, there you go, you guys. This is our Micellar Milky Jelly Cleanser. Very easy, very simple recipe. The ingredients are very easy to source. You guys have the recipe. It's throughout the video. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. Make a comment down below. Share it with your friends. Subscribe if you haven't. And there's a lot more where this came from over on Patreon. Go over there and help yourself to a lot of really good formulas over there. In the meantime, let's give a shout out to all of my Patreon members right over here.